Alright, so I'm listening to my spark plugs to see if they sound the same or if one's duller or brighter than another one. I'm putting my ear against this heavy metal tool and against the top of the spark plug wire. See, this sounds late and rough, so I think that spark plug wire is suspect. That one sounds better, but it is a V6, so sometimes the second one in on the opposite side of the engine, the second one in, might be why this one's duller, because they work in pairs on V6s, you know? That one sounds great. And that sounds almost good too. So it probably is the second one in on the left hand bank that is the one that's not keeping everything happy. This last one's hard to check because it didn't stick up enough. That one sounds a little rough. But it's hard because that final one, oh, there's a better spot to touch it. Yeah, I just can't reach it to listen to that final one in the back. But safe to say that usually if this one sounds good, even after I've plussed this one up, then that last one's probably alright. Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to listen to that last one. Now what sucks is that the right answer is to have the engine totally cold when I change the spark plugs. So now that I have a plan for what's doing what where, I mean, I can start by changing a spark plug wire. If that evens everything up, I'm done. If not, I got a set of plugs ready to go. Everyone says use the platinums Nissan recommends. I'm usually really good about listening to manufacturer recommendations about spark plugs, but like always, platinums, they always last me like 12,000 miles. I'm tired of it. I'm going to put in some titanium as a step up. No, iridium. I'll put in some iridiums, and I hope it lasts longer. I hope I do. Sorry for the camera shake. I'm touching my camera on the mount because it didn't want to behave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the D.E. Nichols channel. AutoBottle.com. Alright guys, we're going to see if you can hear what I'm talking about, it sounding duller or not, by putting you on the heavy metal tool. Alright? I can hear it right now that there's a spark issue that's likely. Alright, microphone's over here, so listen to that cylinder. Listen to the dull one. Listen to the bright one again. And the dull one. There you go. Alright guys, so spark plug number 2. Or and these little things keep it in place so it doesn't get into a hot place. And technically this is cylinder number 3 probably. Oh man, my workout just really popped in my shoulder. Or in my wrist. So that's number 3. I don't really care what number they are. I just try to closely match. Because that looks good. And let's double check to make sure it's not bad inside. Because it's likely to be more than less. I'm going to go ahead and put my ohm meter at 200K. And we're going to check the old one. The old one still has its dicone grease on it. 4.7. So on the surface it doesn't seem bad, but it is late. And if you reduce the resistance, then it'll make it earlier. See, this one's a lot lower resistance. It's also colder. So as it raises, it's not an accurate one because this one's cold. It'll raise the resistance on this when it's hot. But I do need it to be a little bit sooner. So this should be good to even up the engine. You know, the reason why I bought a spark plug wire set is actually because, let's see, Duralast isn't kind. They don't come with the grease. So I really should put grease on, but let's see. Put it on until it clicks. Work it way under. Might as well put it the same way the last one was. Put it on until it clicks. And this one might be slightly, ever so slightly longer than the last one. But if you twist your wire in your distributor cap just a little bit, you can pull some of that slack out. You don't want to tug on these real hard. You can damage them. But got that in, and I think I'm actually going to move this clip over because it's a slightly different trajectory of these things. So the only tool I had on me at the time was my laser thermostat. It's actually an infrared thermometer that's just laser guided. But we're going to call it a laser thermostat because it's easier. And my engine was hard to start, and I read this spark plug wire, and it was really hot. 1015C hotter than the other spark plug wires. So assuming by the heat that meant the resistance was high, I went ahead and changed it out. Then my engine started right up, and I actually got better O2 patterns because more fuel was getting past this cylinder and into the exhaust because the spark wasn't as effective because, you know, it was probably interrupted so much. Not so much to get a misfire, but enough that it was getting harder to start the engine. And, you know, some people say go ahead and change all the wires. I prefer to change them as I need to. And usually a year or two later I might need to change a wire. But I've gone as much as 12 years without using a new wire. Well, that's an exaggeration. I've gone as much as 7 years before I finally had to replace the original wire in a car. The original wires are very good. Nothing against Duralast or whoever makes these things. But Nissan makes them really good. I just bought it from AutoZone for convenience. I don't think I have a dealer in my area. So let's see if it sounds better. And if it doesn't, I better get this, stop turning it on and showing you guys and let it cool off so I can start changing some spark plugs. Because those I do like to change all at once. See, if you don't change your spark plugs all at once, they're all going to have a different amount of wear. And you could just replace spark plugs based on symptoms. And the symptoms will just keep moving because as that cylinder runs better and brighter sounding, other ones will dull up on you. I've chased an engine around before just trying to see what would happen. It took forever. It was worth the experiment. I ended up replacing almost all of them to get the engine sound good, and at that point you're really going to need a worn spark plug in there versus a new one. Ridiculous. Alright guys, I still hear an electrical popping sound, and as I think about it, this engine's always got that, so it's probably not the ignition system. Let's see how it sounds to me. I probably won't show you how it sounds because I don't even know if it sounds good to you or not. Or if you can hear that the second one is bad. And I put it against my ear flap. That sounds normal. That sounds better, but still slightly missy. So it needs a spark plug there. That sounds really good. Sounds great. Sounds great. I'm going to cheat and I'm going to listen on the intake runners because I can never reach that last spark plug wire because it's kind of around the corner. Sounds great. Sounds great. Sounds great. Sounds great, burning my hand. Sounds slightly less than perfect. Sounds great. Checking again. Sounds great and great. Sounds great and great. The only thing that was missing a little bit was the fact that I couldn't be consistent on where I listened. You have to listen on the same object through or you're going to get different results. Let's check it again, because as the spark plug wire heats, it might change my results. Yeah, this spark plug wire just needed to warm up a little. Sounds really good. I think I'm done. I got some packing to do to go home for Christmas. Yeah, I think you can see it. You see the water on the ground? You could get out there and work on something like my catchphrase is, but in a place that never rains, I don't think you have to work out in the rain, all right? Now, if I was in North Carolina, I'd be like, you just better have a way to cover up, because you can't avoid working just because it's raining, unless it's like a torrential downpour.